Welcome to another super casual review. Today we're going to cover Tomb Raider Legend, played and captured on the PS3 HD collection. Just to preface, as usual, all the footage I'm using is from me streaming the game, hence the ginger man in the corner. Enjoy. Tomb Raider is a series that everyone knows. You show non-gamers a picture of Lara Croft, and they'll immediately know who she is, like Mario or Link. It really shows the staying power of this iconic franchise. But if that's true, why does no one remember Tomb Raider Legend? So Tomb Raider Legend came out in 2006 as an action-adventure game starring everyone's favourite booby lady, Lara Croft. It works as a soft reboot to the series, telling a story unrelated to the core design games of old. It stars Lara and a gang of 2000s tech people you find in every piece of media from that era. Blame hackers. Oh, and it was on every console possible. Definitely a big release. So what do we do in Tomb Raider Legend? What's it about? Surprisingly, we raid very little tombs, spending most of our time jumping off men in slow-mo and shooting them. I found that Tomb Raider Legend, or TRL we'll now call it because I keep messing over my words, is a collection of game mechanics from its contemporaries in that era. Climbing and traversal? Well, that's Prince of Persia and God of War. Same for the puzzle design too, or shall I say puzzle presentation? Here's a big room with 4 thingies. Can you figure out what order those 4 thingies go in? Quick time events? We got them. I can't source a direct game for this one, but Resi 4 definitely popularized these. Auto lock on? That's from the original Tomb Raider games, yeah. And I'm glad they chose to take the combat from the originals and develop it. It's one of the things that stands out in this game, even if it is overly simple. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. The game doesn't suffer from these additions. It just feels very timely. It takes the ideas from popular games and slots them into itself. It's neither derivative or progressive with its ideas. This is sort of the reason why I think people forget it. The games industry is always borrowing and developing ideas from its contemporaries, usually the most popular ones. Look at Resi 4. But the ideas in this game just don't feel developed or baked enough, if you know what I mean. Apart from those vehicle sections, they weren't copied from anybody and they're not very good. One last touch on this subject. In the game's defense, it did make Arkham's Detective Vision before Arkham's Detective Vision. We can now all agree that Batman, Arkham Asylum copied TRL. Going back to the original games, Lara's pistols have unlimited ammo, while the weapons she can find... Remember, this is a PS2 game. You can only carry 2 guns. Blame Halo. Run off limited ammo pool, and they're often more powerful and have greater accuracy. M4 goes... Unlike the original games, the pace of the game is so fast you blink and you miss it. Long gone is the slow, methodical gameplay of the originals. TRL consists of 8 levels, 2 mostly boring vehicle stages. This results in a game you can beat in roughly 5 hours in your first playthrough, if you're not collecting the relics, that is. Now you think this would be a bad thing, and in most cases it is. You won't want to buy a game only for it to end on a cliffhanger and feel like it was a half-baked experience. But TRL works. Sadly, not because it's an amazing experience, but because you can only fake it for so far. But the game does have some great little puzzle designs and vistas. The overall experience is, dare I say, dull? The new non-polygonal bazongas just don't do it. But back to the good things. The graphics look great. This is a HD port. It really doesn't help it as much as it should. It still has that old PS2 fuzz the games had back in the day. But it is a convenient way to play it, as opposed to pulling out an Xbox or a PS2. One of the highlights for me would be the King Arthur stage in particular. It takes place in an old museum. Can you guess where in the world this is set? Here, have a timer.
3, 2, 1.
If you said London, you'd be correct because of the rain and the grey. Back to the stage. You make your way through the museum hearing tales of King Arthur through the little podiums. Why Arthur? Well, here's the best bit for a story dump. Years ago, Lara, in her classic outfits you know is old, and her cool emo friend were exploring a cave, along with some nameless friends. When suddenly they were all attacked by a smog monster from Lost. Amanda, the cool friend, touches a suspicious rock. Suspicious rock, leading everything to collapse. Amanda dies. Years later, while Lara is doing general raiding, gasp! Amanda is alive and she now controls the smog monster. What can kill it? Excalibur, of course. So Lara goes on a quest to anime battle her old friend. Okay, that was a lie. Actually, it's to figure out why her mother disappeared in front of her. As when she was a child, they crashed on the mountains, mother go poop poop. Poop poop, I mean poof. Blam! She disappeared. She's gone. But that's the gist of the plot. Nice and simple, a nice little hook, a bit of curiosity, a decent villain with a believable motive for hating Lara, because she thought she left her to die when she was, a young emo, and now she's an older emo. Oh, she survived, by the way, because of the smoke monster. We don't know how, smoke monster. But hence, we are searching for the pieces of Excalibur. While doing very minimal research for this video, I found on the Tomb Raider wiki, apparently you can get a Soul Reaver sword instead of the Excalibur? I never found that as a kid, but that's really fucking cool. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. So this game is like quite light on its mystical aspects. It slowly builds up as the game goes on. Starts off small, gets bigger by the end. But this Hydra boss fight is so stupid and ridiculous, I've never forgotten it, and I love it. He just wants a friend. No! Now reading this script, I just realized, does the Hydra look like the God of War Hydra? I'll put 2 pictures on screen now while I'm editing, and we'll see if they line up at all. To quickly conclude the plot, we find Excalibur, we kill the smog monster, we beat up Amanda, we threaten to kill her in the face. Really good scene for Laura to get really pissed off. And the game just ends. With the mystery of, like, will we find her mother? Amanda's alive, smog monster dead? No one knows. It's a mystery for the next game, ooh! To properly conclude, I've played this game more times than I can count. Owning it on the original Xbox is a small creature with like 3 or 4 other games. I didn't have much to play, and this would fill up an afternoon with a fairly fun time. It benefits from being such a simple game that you can blast through in a few hours. It keeps you entertained, it keeps you locked in for those couple hours it has you. And sometimes that's all you need in a game. You just need something that's simple, something that's gonna like hit those neutrons in your brain and, you know, make you feel good. You can get the best 10 out of 10 games out there that require so much thinking. I always think of Persona 5 because it's like, I love that game to bits. Never finished it. Too much thinking involved. Sometimes you just want to switch off and play something simple. This is also the first part of a trilogy of games that I've never played. I never had the sequels as a kid. So I'm really looking forward to continuing these games as the months go on and then maybe making mini reviews for them as well. It's a fun game. It's nothing special. It doesn't stand out. But on a scale of fun, I'd definitely give it like a 6.5. And with that, thank you for watching. I'm going to go more so off script now. I'm hoping to get these videos out quite semi-regularly. I'm really enjoying creating content again, and this has been my way to get back into creating content. I don't know about anyone else, but I always found that I would be so ambitious when going into a project, and I'd give up halfway through. Like, this script is like 800 words long or something. Scripts in the past have been like 5,000 words long. It's not feasible for me in my current skill set, which you probably can see from this video, to make a video that's 5,000 letters long. So I'm hoping with the release of these videos, I can practice, you know, and get better each time and slowly increase my skill set, increase my vocals, which I think need a lot of work, but you don't get better unless you know, practice. But yeah, no, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Last video got like 200 views or something. I was really impressed with that. Really surprised, honestly. And I'm hoping to pump these out for every game I stream over on Twitch. Do you remember Tomb Raider Legends? Do you not? What do you think about it? Please let me know in the comments below. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a lovely new year. Take care.